Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor. Dance floor, 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 dance floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor.
The world's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
He picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
And Homer to the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell, deep right center field, carrying, and it's gone.
That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again? To the wall!
Swung on Bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over on a line shot.
I can't believe my eyes.
The AAA has displayed as much parity as expected, and with so much seeding on the line, this final match of the week is sure to prove no less. A resurgent champion from one of the league's heavy hitters has led him into the top-tier conversation of the league. Roberto Ramos has been a menace for all who have come his way, and he is determined to lead his team to glory on the big stage. Lining up across the diamond in their second AAA campaign is a ferocious and intimidating team full of killers. With flashes of potential that mirror even those at the pinnacle of the AAA, this lineup looks to display their power and send a warning shot to the rest of the league. It is Fireball Max and his Miami Knights facing off against Corn Sensational and the Seawolves. Welcome back to AAA Match of the Week. The AAA the world and this 18th campaign is proving no different, with an even more talented and invigorated group of players fighting.
Hey.
Check, check, check. Okay, I'm sorry about that, everybody. For some reason in my headphones it played the AAA, but Miss said that y'all heard the AA. I hope that is correct, because Urban gave us that fire intro that we've been waiting on all season. It was AAA? Okay, y'all give me a second. Off of a whim, give me like 30 seconds. AA is getting their Urban because Urban deserves it. AA deserves it. The whole league deserves it. Give me a second. Let me switch it over. My stuff got messed up. I apologize. Give me just 1 second, y'all. And AA's got the Urban coming. Hang on.
XBL.
I was looking at the graphic. Okay.
The world. This 18th campaign is proving no different, with an even more talented and invigorated group of players fighting for the title. Tonight, on AA Primetime, we bring two of the division's frontrunners. Our first challenger is a rookie who has taken the AA world by storm and put his competitors on notice. Their chance to clinch the #1 seed and make the final I'm him statement for the Season 18 regular season has arrived. Against them, the balanced and poignant attack that has left much of the league in the dust. Just as much is at stake for the second-year stud as they sit with their playoff by destiny in the palm of their hand. It is J3 and the Dominican Enemigos matching up with BoDangles and his Walk City Knights. Welcome back to AA Match of the Week.
Okay, I apologize about that, everyone, but I mean, you can't complain. We got a double dip of the Go Urban on the intro. Man, we've been waiting all season, and it's completely on me. Urban has been fiery and let me know he really wants to get them in. I just kept forgetting. So Urban, thank you so much. I see you in the chat for getting those to me really quickly this week on a semi-short notice, and man, they're all fire. I listened to them all ahead of time. They're great. And for AA, you got to hear Urban talk about it. We've got the Enemigos versus the City Walk Knights. It's the #1 seed versus the #5 seed, and sometimes when you get to these late season matchups, you don't get something as spicy as this. But man, oh man, there is a lot on the line tonight, because we've got the Enemigos and the City Walk Knights both fighting for a place to get a bye out of that round robin. And with me tonight is Mystery Man. I haven't been in the booth with him in so long. Used to be the man I was in the booth with the most, and now we're back. Mist, how you doing? I love to see you in here, buddy.
Doing really good, man. When you told me we had an Urban for this, I was like, oh, damn, this is throwdown shit, you know? And that's probably the first time I cussed on here, but, you know, we've got two really good teams here. I'm going to jump right into the keys of the game. So this is actually a crucial matchup because BoDangle and his Wokes could potentially sidestep the round robin. Gonna need a little bit of help from the Icebirds, but the Icebirds are an extremely good team. So that, you know, if you're relying on the Icebirds, that's not a bad situation. Another thing is, you know, these two teams have been running extremely parallel on ego. They both started around 75, and right now they're both within 1 point of 80. And the brings us to the third point, which is kind of weird, because if you just look at the records and the losses, Team Enemigos, which is #1, has been a great team this season, has only lost 4 games, which is by far the lowest in AA, probably in all leagues. And Woke has lost 8 games, which is double that. But if you actually dig into the deep statistics, Woke looks really freaking good with their RD. Their pitching has been better than Team Enemigos.
Yeah, you touched on all 3 points, so I guess I'll go through all 3 of them myself and try not to be too much. Like you said, with that first point, the Enemigos, this is their final series, and I put destiny in their hands, which is more so for City Walk. But if you're the Enemigos, it's got a little bit of meaning as well. You've got the 1 seed. I should have looked ahead of time. If he's got 3 games left, the 2 tonight versus BoDangles, and then he's got the second game of a set left versus someone else. Depending on if he was to lose all 3 of those, depending on his series with Simon, he could fall to the 2 seed. And you might not think too much of that, but when it comes to the round robin, there's a big difference between the groups sometimes depending on who's coming out of those round robin groups. So having the 1 seed versus the 2 seed is really quite a big deal. And then meanwhile, BoDangles, obviously, if he gets the sweep here tonight, he can jump out of the round robin and into the bye with a little bit of help. But when you get to the end of the season, all you can really ask for is having some control, some sort of control, and he's got some control tonight if he's able to get these wins. And like Too Easy, thank you for letting me know that. 1 win from the Enemigos, and it's completely locked up, no doubt, for the 1 seed. So a lot on the line for both of these guys, and this is the final set for the City Walk Knights. So it's all or nothing if they want to get out of that round robin. They've got to get a sweep, not a split. Got to get a sweep tonight. And you discussed how they've got even pretty relatively even egos. J3's at 79 and BoDangles is at 80, so they're in that upper echelon of ego for the AA and what you have to offer. A couple of guys that you're looking to move into the AAA based off their performance at the ego they're at. So it's really about as tight of a contest as you can hope for in the AA in terms of standings and ego. There's not much of a gap either way. Then the run differential, you look at J3, he's the number 1 seed, but BoDangles has a better run differential, and like you noted behind the scenes to me, it's because of that pitching. BoDangles has really come on hot, especially in the back half of the season, the way he's been able to hit. And not only does he hit, he scores runs as well. I think he's got a 3-something run differential, if I remember correctly. He's got a 3-something, and that's a really great run differential in any league that's going to get you to where he's at the 5 spot. So a lot on the line. 2 guys that are really playing extremely well. 2 guys that are looking to go into the playoffs and make noise, not just get there. When you're looking at those top 5, you're talking about favorites to win the whole thing. So both of these guys very much in the conversation for winning the AA, and your reward for AA is to go up to the AAA and play people like Mist, which really is not very fun. I can tell you firsthand experience being a rookie in the AAA. No fun playing guys like Mist. And but regardless, winning any of these leagues is huge. And even AA, I mean, I can speak from experience. I won AA. It feels great. You get to see your name on that website and everything. But it all gets finished off right here for the regular season for our match of the week in the AA. It's going to be a great one, and we've got a great matchup of 2 top 5. So as much as you can hope for. Mist said his things. I rambled on about my things. We've got the games pre-recorded, so no worries about disconnects tonight and things like that. It's going to be super smooth. Appreciate J3 sending me those recordings. So with all that said, y'all give me a second. I'm going to switch everything over, and we're going to get right into this AA Match of the Week on a Thursday to kick off our final regular season of Match of the Weeks. It's starting to get really fun. It's starting to get really spicy, and it all starts off right now. I'll see y'all here in a minute. Okay, here we are, everybody. We're here, game one. It's going to be the #1 seed at home. It's J3. What stadium is that, Miss? Is that Stade Royale? I saw some blue outfield walls.
And it's a beautiful night. I'm actually considering using this stadium sometime. It's a really pretty stadium. It's a little glary during the day, but it's just a gorgeous stadium.
Yeah, I like all the stadiums at night more than any time. And on the mound, we're going to see Christopher Ogando with the 5.46 ERA. It's respectable, not the top end order. He's only got 3 games left, so I'm sure his ace has already been used up, but this is probably the #2 pitcher right here. 4-seam, slider, curveball, and changeup. So no moving fastball, but he does have a 4-pitch arsenal. Can be dangerous. Great location on the slider there, and starts off with a strikeout. Bald Base Dad. I guess BoDangles got a little bit of shout out to Bald Baseball Dad, the old XBL player himself. Everyone loves BBD. Using that slider a lot already in the first 2 at-bats. One thing I'm interested to see in is both of these guys are respectable pitchers. BoDangle has a little bit of the edge, but it's how patient can you be at the plate. That's the main thing we see in the AA is people lack a little bit of patience sometimes.
Yeah, I actually think the biggest factor in this game is going to be J3's pitching, because he's going to have to match BoDangles because both of them can hit.
Right, I think you're going to expect runs from both of these guys no matter how they pitch, especially J3. He's been scoring exceptionally well this season. But I said the same thing about Prestone versus Too Easy. I was like, oh, Prestone's a long ballo type of player, then Too Easy, I'm pretty sure shut him out the first game, and then only gave up like 2. So sometimes these match of the weeks, especially for newer guys, can really cause a lot of jitters that make you struggle. Decent hit right there on the 3rd at-bat, but 3 up and 3 down. And now J3 is going to come up to the plate and try to strike first. He's got Michael Montero, 375 average at the leadoff. He has that sprinter and base rounder. And Mommy Princess on the mound with a pretty standard arsenal. Really a excellent starting pitcher here for BoDangles. No doubt this has to be his ace. If not, he has a crazy rotation.
Yeah, he's running a heavy turtle with high velo. This reminds me of Madeline Binkley, very similar. Madeline doesn't quite have that junk, but this is a tough pitcher.
Yeah, and only at 2 ERA over the course of an entire season. That's, if we gave out Vaughn Asens to one specific player, I bet this starting pitcher is in the running for it. That ERA is exceptional, and able to get the first out on an inside cutter right there. I'm interested to see what the location looks like on these. Oh, no! As soon as we boost her up for being so good, gets hit right in the chest. This one, that's always a tough thing when you get your pitcher hurt in that first inning. And look at those stats. 1 bar on the pitcher. We'll have to see how he manages this. Tough break for BoDangles off rip on match of the week.
Yeah, gonna have to lean on that composed trait. That's pretty much all she has cooking now.
Right. Gets by the shortstop after getting hurt. Does give up a single right here outside of the stretched arm of the shortstop. But if you're BoDangles, we've talked about how well he's been pitching so far. This is really going to put you to the test. You've got an injured pitcher, 1 batter into the game. How are you able to maneuver this? With everything on the line, no excuses.
Yeah, low velo will still work here, but the question is going to be accuracy. That's not much of a bar.
Right, and that one drops, and he throws it to second, and he's able to tag him out. Wow. J3 was rounding to go to 3rd and turn back around. It ends up being the wrong decision as BoDangles throws it to 2nd and gets the tag out. So after the injury, he is able to get out of that inning with a little bit of help from J3. Looked like some good location on that pitch as well.
Yeah, that was a really slick throw. He got caught red-handed.
Yeah, quick. I try that a lot in the XBL to get those, especially people like No Name, try to throw to a base that they're not going to expect you to throw to. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Right there, it works out for BoDangles. And so now we're seeing a lot of velo from the starter on the Enemigos side versus practically no velo from BoDangles. So quite a contrary on the starters now the rest of the way. Great location on a 4-seam here. Hits the corner at 99. Looks like J3 is using, I don't know what you call it. It's not power pitching, it's the other. But he's using that non-power pitch. What do you call it?
Control pitch. Control pitch.
Control pitch? Yeah, he's got the control pitch going, so you're not going to probably see these pitches even with that velo top out at 100, but if he's able to locate, 99 is going to get it done just fine. We got purple for the enemy. Oh, the late dive. Montero's able to get it. But we've got the purple unis for the Enemigos and some bright red uniforms for BoDangles. So we got some colorful stuff really popping under the bright lights of Match of the Week and popping under those bright lights of Stave Royale at night.
Yeah, both of these players have the extremely creative team names and logos.
Yeah, one thing that's thrown me off about City Walk is I gave him the Unicorn of the Week, obviously, and he very much deserved it. Hang on, we got a double play ball rolled over to shortstop. Baseball Dad bottom over to Sandman for the double play, and that's big. You want this starter to get you through a few innings. And a great pitch, too. But when it comes to City Walk Knights, really both of these teams, I've got a little bit of something that's been bothering me. And Amigos, their location is team. So when I type it in, it's team and Amigos. I don't know if he meant to do that or not. And then on the other side, BoDangles' location, his team is City Walk Knights. So it's like both of these AA guys really don't have a city on one side, and the other one's got City Walk doubled up, if that makes any sense to you.
I think the City Walk makes sense. The Team Enemigos is just for lack of an actual city. I assume.
Yeah, and there's a walk right there, so he's got 2 on now with 2 outs. Man on first and second. Pitcher comes up. Already locked in here in the second inning. Has 0-0 to start with in terms of batting stats, though, so not super easy to hit with and not a lot of speed on the bases. Going to need a solid hit here. That one rolls. I wonder how much speed that pitcher has. Not enough for the third out in 2 innings now. The injured pitcher is able to get out alive. BoDangles doing a good job using that cutter on the inside to get some swings.
Number 25.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a little bit of nerves from J3. That's why he's not hitting that injured pitcher. Is he's a little bit, he's a little bit nervous here, I think.
Yeah, and very, very usual. I think this is both of their first time on Match of the Week. I know BoDangles played last season, but I don't remember if BoDangles had a Match of the Week that I can recall. And J3, obviously a rookie. This is his first Match of the Week, and well-deserved. If you're the 1 seed, you deserve to be on the Match of the Week at some point. And he's getting his chance right here. Able to get a couple outs here, and here comes that starting pitcher. We'll see if BoDangles is going to keep her in. It looks to go to a sub here in the third. She's gotten 2 clean innings, but with those stats, maybe he was just trying to survive until she comes up, and it is a pinch hitter. We see Cosmic Faith come in. Power versus righties is engaged. A lot of velo up there around 90, maybe 90 plus now for this starter. Surprised he's not abusing that four seam a little bit more with that velo. Here comes a curveball inside the chin. He swings and misses. 0 average for this pinch hitter. I don't know if he hasn't been used or if he's had a rough year. A rough swing, though, and over there to first base, 3 outs.
A little bit early there, but got it.
Yeah, that's one of those things that you learn as you play this game competitively more. Sometimes if you have time, you want to wait till that pitcher gets there gets there to first base before you toss it, but luckily enough, catches it there. So we've got 4 hits for the Enemigos and 0 for BoDangles here going into the bottom of the third on the AA Match of the Week. So far, it's been a pitcher type of contest, but a lot of times on Match of the Week, that's how they start. The nerves will really affect those bats early on. And we see the SPRP come in now for BoDangles. Not great stats, but he does have that elite changeup, and it's a 5-pitch arsenal. Could very much cause trouble if he can locate.
Yeah, that's a very double A arsenal, but that's a wicked arsenal.
After a 3-0 count, able to get the first strike in right there. He does have injury prone on this pitcher too, which is not something you want to see in this situation after your starter already got railed.
It has the elite changeup there. That's a lot of backup pitches from this pitcher. Oh, what a play.
Great sliding catch from Pickle over there in left field to get the out. The fielders are really doing a great job right now of keeping BoDangles alive after the starter got hurt. He had a double play in that last inning and a good sliding catch over there in this one. But there's a single up the middle. J3 on the base pass for 3 straight innings now. He's had some base runners. Has yet to take advantage of anything. 3-hole here. Doesn't have great stats, but enough to get it into the gap over the shortstop. Left fielder scoops it up. It's going to hold the runner at second. Good job taking really a nice angle to that ball, which could have been trouble. And now you've got the RBI hero coming up. Tough out as well. If this thing gets to 2 strikes, this is an insane batter.
Yeah, this is bad news for Bo.
Yeah, this is a big at
Somehow
bat.
think there's something.
Oh,
that ain't
deep
it.
center field, and J3 looked nervous, but no, sir. That one's over center field wall and stayed royale. 3-run shot. And here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, welcome to the AA. Welcome to Match of the Weekend, amigos. That's the batter you expect to do that. And now the SPRP is tense. You're going to need a pretty epic performance on the mound from Bo Dangles for sure now. Starter got hurt. SPRP's tense. You really got to figure out a way to just steady the ship for a few innings. Give yourself the chance to get over those jitters and start hitting yourself.
Yeah, need to concentrate on locating. He has the arsenal. That's not really the best pitch there.
Yeah, he's leaving some of that stuff. When he throws it up high, it looks like he's leaving it a little bit too far inside of the edges, and that's what most of the hits have come off of. Great power at the plate here, but hardly any contact. A very much AA build at the plate right here. If he can hit a home run right here, that's impressive. Okay, he gets the pop out to right field. We'll see if he tags up to 3rd. I didn't check the speed. He's going to go for it. He turns back.
Good arm.
Yeah, he does have a good arm. And for J3 right here at the plate, he's got cannon arm on his right fielder, so the right field arms in this game are going to be something you don't want to test. Accuracy is down with Mind Gamer. Ooh, screwball was pretty meaty in the zone. Throwing a lot of that screwball changeup two-seam, and they all move the same direction. Fouls that one away. Full count. J3 looking to do a little bit more damage here in the 3rd. Watches it. A great pitch. He finally locates that screwball on the inside edge, and he's able to get the strikeout, but not before J3 is able to put up 3 with that big home run from his cleanup spot. And Bo Dangles comes up to the plate now. Man, look at that location J3 showed us. Bo Dangles put that right on the corner.
This is exactly what you want leading off here, though. You've got an RBI 0 with a distractor trait. Let's get this on base.
Yeah, Bo Dangles yet to get a hit, but there's one into the gap. It's going into center field. Center fielder ranges back. He's able to scoop it up, and he turns back to 1st. So like Mist asked, he's got that leadoff hitter on. I'm sure he's got great speed, and he's got Mind Gamer. He's got decent speed. Distractor, I'm sorry, not Mind Gamer. I'm still 4 seasons in. I'm learning these traits.
That was a rough pitch there, Uni. That was a really good pitch. He nailed the slider, and Woke City had no choice but to swing at it.
Yeah, I've been impressed. J3 looks like he can really pinpoint that slider. More than any pitch, it seems like slider-wise is his best location. His accuracy's way down. Already pretty mid-accuracy without the distractor trait. Now it shows it's 3-0 count. Curveball's going to find the zone, and he sits on it. Trying to figure out where to throw this fastball at. He's going to give it up high. Swing and miss on 101. Full count, a big spot for Bo Dangles trying to answer back. Steals, and he's out. Strike him out, throw him out. Things are going right for J3 right now. He gets that home run, and now he gets a strike him out, throw him out to end the inning. The momentum is something very much that we talk about, and the momentum very much on J3's side right now. The Enemigos doing a great job here through 3 innings.
Yeah, and Woke City behind the 8 ball with pitching. If I'm Enemigos, I'm not in a big hurry to swing at anything.
Number 00.
Yeah, we've seen Bo Dangles. He's got a couple of quick outs here, but in that last inning, especially when that SPRP came in, he left some stuff over the heart of the plate, and that's why it turned into a 3-run game here. When he locates, he does locate really well on that edge. It's just a matter of how consistent can you be with that edge location. That one right down the middle, but J3 watches it. The only issue with this Arsenal is 4 of his pitches move the same direction, which can be easy to get a hold of after you see it for a few innings. Slider's able to tie him up there, and after a rough 3rd inning, BoDangle's able to get the shutout, 3 up, 3 down there in the 4th. Still only 1 hit in the ball game for the last unicorn of the week, and I gotta say, I'm trying to be unbiased, but I really want the former unicorn of the week to do something epic. Give us some runs here.
Yeah, you know, to be honest, Unicorn, in addition to just the opening jitters, I think he's still recovering from losing that stud pitcher on such an awkward play. You know, that's mentally, it can even affect you at the plate.
Yeah, it's really a shock to the system, especially when it's in the 1st inning like that. You know that you have to score in that situation. Your relievers are going to be able to only last so much. They're relievers for a reason, because they're not as good of a start as a starter, or they can't last as long, at least if we're going off of real life stuff. So if you're BoDangles, you have time, but it is in the 5th inning here. You're getting into those middle innings, and now you've got 2 outs here in the 5th, still with only 1 hit. BoDangles no doubt can score. It's just a matter of time until he's able to start putting some better bats on the balls. You can see him getting a little bit less patient at the plate, swinging at some of these early pitches, and now there's 3 outs for J3, and he comes back up to the plate. A quick inning on both sides there in the bottom of the 4th and the top of the 5th, and now we go into the bottom of the 5th with Valdez up to the plate, 2 for 2, 2 singles. SPRP at 35 pitches now.
Yeah, I think if you're J3 here, you're in the driver's seat. You need to really focus on playing your game, and if he can beat you from here, let him have it.
Oh my, we got a wacky bounce. It hit the ground, so it's not going to be an out. He's going to be safe at first because I guess we have no gravity at Stave Royale tonight.
Got a turf bounce there. That does happen in this game. That actually happens in real life sometimes.
We've got 1 on, no outs, and I believe that's Distractor over there on first base. The accuracy for this SPRP incredibly low now. And 2 walks. This could be a dangerous inning now because that 4-hole is up next. Oh, I'm sorry. He just walked him. But a decent 5-hole here. Clutch isn't engaged because of the run differential and the time of game. But plenty of stats. That one was right down the middle but popped up. That one could have been trouble missed.
He wants it back, but he didn't get it.
And that one's hit right field. Unfortunate, though, into the right fielder, and now to second. Not going to be able to get it in time. So after getting 2 on, there's 2 outs now. You've got that low contact, high power batter up again. Fastball hitter is on. 458 average. This guy's been a monster for J3.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think so with the contact, but he's got fastball hitter and a lot of power.
A couple of good swings back-to-back turn into nothing. That's unfortunate for the Enemigos, but if you're the City Walk Knights, you just kept yourself alive for another inning, and now you come back up to the plate.
Yeah, I actually think, Unicorn, that the momentum is shifting a little bit toward Woke City because at this point, they have to almost feel like they shouldn't even be just down 3. They just need a little bit of something.
That slider, once again, well located at the bottom of the zone. He's able to get another out. Yeah, the way he's been using that slider with that high velo, I'm sure it looks pretty detrimental coming to you at the plate. He's been locating it extremely well. J3 is apparently a certified slider locator.
Yeah, slider is one of those pitches. You know, we see Heisman and Ricks and them. They can use that pitch. The only thing is you cannot mislocate that. But if you can locate it, it's deadly.
Yeah, no doubt. Locating it is a skill in itself. It's not one of the easiest pitches. Once again, look at that location on the outside corner, and he gets him to ground it out again. That's all that slider's been producing is just ground outs, weak ground outs in the infield. And here comes that pitcher. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm sure BoDangles is going to pull him out. And here comes his best pinch hitter, if I was to guess, with pinch perfect and a 636 average. swings at the slider. The slider's in his head at this point. You can tell.
Yeah, I got to lay off of that one. That was pretty obvious.
Yeah, especially coming from out to in. Well located changeup as well. It's up center. Not much speed on this guy though. And 3 up, 3 down again. J3 really putting on a clinic on the mound right now. He plays well on both sides, but he's playing exceptionally well right now in terms of his pitching. And BoDangles really has done a great job. He had that one mistake pitch that turned into a 3-run home run, obviously, but when you get your starter hurt and you get into the 6th inning now, only giving up 3 runs, that's really a win for BoDangles.
Yeah, and the situation was such at that time, Unicorn, where it was going to be very difficult to locate. So I don't blame BoDangles. He's had some tough luck here and is only down 3. So, you know, realistically, Woke City's doing just fine. It's just been a little bit. That injury was a killer.
Gets the ground out here, and Beaver's able to scoop it up. Put away that first down. Here comes that starter. Starter's had an excellent game. Going to keep him in. Still has plenty of velo locked in. Not at a super high pitch count. See if he can help himself here. Watches that strike. 1-1.
Yeah, I think everybody in chat's got to be a little bit shocked to see this level of pitching. This is not what we would typically expect from Double A, but you know, this is the cream of the crop in Double A. So sometimes, you know, some of these cats can really pitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, these are some top-end level pitchers. It's not only top 5 players in the Double A, but they're both up there in that upper echelon of pitching in the Double A. But BoDangles comes back up, and now it's late. We're into the 7th inning. Only has 3 innings left, and he's got to start making some noise. Only has 1 hit so far. Starter's still locked in. I'm surprised that starter isn't on fire. Couple of quick strikes here. 0-2. Good eye there from BoDangles. 1-2 on that changeup. Here comes that nasty slider. Might find the zone. Gets him swinging.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible. That's the hardest place to throw that slider. That inside. I almost won't even throw that pitch.
It's too sketchy. It's too sketchy. If you mislocate that, especially in the AAA or the XBL, it's almost a guaranteed home run.
If you throw that to Black Coffee and you miss, you can absolutely guarantee that ball is gone.
Yeah, that thing's out of the stadium 100% of the time. On fire now. It took 1 more out from that pitcher, and now he's on fire, so even stronger than he was to start. And once again, the slider. If you're BoDangles here, I mean, if I'm him at the plate, I have to think to myself, I've gotten out like 90% of the time on that slider. I've got to sit on that. I can't even swing at it, no matter if it's in the zone. But he keeps hacking at it.
Yeah, I think he has to tighten up the zone. It's hard. It's kind of like playing against Spliff Star. You have to tighten up the zone, even though you're getting burned left and right, because if you don't, he won't throw anything that you can hit. So you really have to fight the tendency to swing at some of the pitches you normally would go after.
Right. And meanwhile, J3, he gets aggressive and swings at the first pitch in the inning right there. And like you said, yeah, if you're BoDangles, you've only got 1 hit through 7 innings. You've got to tighten up the zone and really wait for a mistake pitch. But shout out to J3. He hasn't really thrown many mistake pitches. Doing a good job missing off of the zone. BoDangles doing a good job as well, keeping this thing at 3. But danger on the base pass here. 1 on with no outs. Catches it over there at shortstop. Ball baseball dad.
Yeah, I think if you would have told BoDangles before the game that his star pitcher was going to get hurt and he was going to hold the other team to 3 runs, you know, in the 7th inning, he would have been extremely happy about that. We expected hitting here.
Right, especially, yeah, I think the over-under on the runs was like 27. Where I thought I saw something like that. It seems a little bit extreme now that I just said it out loud, but 3 runs is not what you expect from these 2 teams. BoDangles, I mean, 1 hit has got to be his lowest total of the year. He still has life here. He has 2 innings left. He's got 5 outs left to play with. On the mound, though, Christopher Ogando on fire still. Those stats higher than they started. Only at 62 pitches here in the 8th inning.
It looks like he just walked into the stadium. I don't see a bead of sweat on this guy.
Yeah, and composed now, too. Look at that accuracy. Using it well located on the outside there, 3-1. He's got 3 straight pitches now if he wants them with great accuracy. Here comes that nasty slider. It's going to be in the zone. finally hits it.
Oh, brother.
Deep center field, and Bo Dangles is on the board. Hello, City Walk Knights.
Frying up some goodness here for the fans. Wow. We knew it was coming, but wow, that was a great hit.
And really missed. That's the first mid location. That wasn't even terrible location. It was at the very bottom of the zone, but it was middle. And Bo Dangles has been whiffing all day on that pitch, but he's able to get a hold of the one semi-mistake pitch. And he took advantage of it. And if you're talking about momentum, Bo Dangles finally has a little bit of life. That's that type of shot that gets you that adrenaline boost into the arm, and you start feeling like you see these pitches a little bit more. Swings inside on the slider right there, though. 2 outs after he got that solo shot.
Yeah, I tell you, Uni, it's always amazing to see these pitchers that can run sliders. Slider is so dangerous. But Team Enemigos has been just so dominating with it.
Yeah, he's locating that slider like a fastball, it feels like. Fastball is pretty easy to locate, but those moving pitches can be tough. I'll be surprised if he doesn't throw a slider here. He's just going to go a throwaway pitch on the 4-seam. Gets him swinging way up high, and that's... Yeah, that's that I want one more type of mentality from Bo Dangles right there.
Yeah, he got bailed out that wasn't on the plate. I think Bo would have humped that ball because he was on the timing.
Yep, he was. And we're into the bottom of the 8th here now in our first game of the AA match of the week. 1-3, so even though it feels like J3's been a little bit dominant, not necessarily so. We've seen 2 home runs, and that's been all of the runs we've seen in this game, both off of the long ball. Very much still a tight game. Very much could still go either way, and we talked about pregame how important this is for both of these teams. J3 only needing the split, but if you're Bo Dangles, you desperately need a sweep here if you want to avoid that round robin.
Yeah, you need to get that starter out of the game. That dude is just insane. I don't care who's coming in.
Right, and that's one good note we could add is Bo Dangles has no idea what that bullpen looks like. He's only seen the starter now for 8 innings. So if it comes down to it in game 2, if it's a bullpen game, it's going to be an all-new territory. But we've got 1 on, 2 outs here for J3. Good pitch from Bo Dangles there, low. And he gets a strikeout there. Great location. Top inside of the zone. And now, last gasp of air for the City Walk Knights. Down 2, only 2 hits in the game. I mean, shoot, get 2 more hits and this game could be tied. We'll see if Bo Dangles has it in him. Starter's still going to stay out there. And there's the slider.
There it is.
Not as low on the zone as you would like, and now 1 is on, and now the tying run comes up to the plate. I believe it's the pitcher, which we're surely going to see pulled here. Yes. And finally, that starter losing some of his stats as well. Especially velo is the highest of noting.
Exactly. Somebody needed to spit in the face of the bully, and we just saw it there with a leadoff hit, which really puts the pressure because you're going to see this SP drop quickly if that locked-in falls.
We'll see how patient Bo Dangles can be here at the plate. It's hard to hold your marbles in this situation. 9th inning, down 2 runs, has 1 on. Good job here, though. He's got it into a 3-0 count. Curveball on the edge, 3-1. This one's going to miss low, and he watches it. Uh-oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Game, or what do you call it? Go-ahead run, but it's RBI 0 up to the plate. 2 on, no outs. Bo Dangles showing some threat.
You can't stay in there.
I know. This is the situation. You just wish you could yell at him. You could DM him. Get that guy out.
You can't be in there.
If you're Bo Dangles, you got to take advantage of this mistake. And he hits it right field. Hang on. Is it getting out? And it's not caught by a center fielder. It bounces off of a couple of walls, and they're rounding the bases. He's getting aggressive. Hang on. There's some traffic jam at third. But he's safe, and the game is tied. No outs in the 9th, and Bo Dangles ties this thing up with a very likely chance to take the lead.
Wow, that RBI 0 said, hush, missed.
Jeez Louise, he had some Dallas traffic over there at third base, but he was still able to get home. I thought he was going to get gunned out.
almost looked like I was going to be caught at the last second there too, but it went in a really bad spot for Team Enemigos, rolling back to the wall.
Yeah, we talked
allowing
about
that traffic jam to break up.
And we talked about things were just kind of the RNG a little bit was going against BoDangles. And now here in the ninth when it matters most, J3's had to deal with this game beating him up a little bit. Here comes that slider. He pokes it over to the third. We'll see what he does. He goes home. Does he have the speed? And he does. No, he doesn't. At the last second, the first out. If you're BoDangles here, you got to desperately try to get this run across the plate. You've held J3 to just that one home run. Oh, my. What was that swing?
He's flustered now. He did a great
tell me about
play
it.
at third, but he didn't get the play at first base, just too slow.
1-1 count, huge spot here. 2-1. Starter is still in, missed. Holy crap, I just realized. Starter is still in.
Wow, I wouldn't pull him.
Over the shortstop with that infield in, and it's going to be the go-ahead run. It's 4-3. Everything looked like it was going J3's way, and BoDangles, what a ninth inning. 3 runs here in the ninth, and finally 3 runs too late. Never mind, keep him in. Okay, get him out.
Yeah, now he has to go. That's just
finally. Only 3. Wow. Wait, no, he's still in. There's no way. Lord. There's no way.
What a pitch.
Yeah,
he's
great
still
pitch.
Wheeling and dealing.
And it's gonna bloop, or is it? Oh, and he catches it at second. Oh man, I just want BoDangles at a home run here just to teach J3 a lesson. You cannot have the starter in right now, man. I know he's been great, but he's given up 4.
Yeah, you can't.
Swings at the slider, and it's gonna go into right field. And now 2 on. BoDangles trying to get a couple more runs if he can. He's got a good part of his order up, 6-hole. Some good stats after that first pitch. 9 home runs on the season for this hitter as well. Finally, is he going to finally go to it? No, just check out that lineup, see what he's got. Can Ogando get one more out? Let me think about it. What's his salary? And he comes out, not paid enough. Finally, we see the reliever.
Great thing is he actually located that pitch, but the problem is now Bo is full of confidence.
Right, he does get the ground at the shortstop here, and that's what. Oh no, it's over the head and it's into the dugout. A run scores. The reliever comes in and the shortstop just throws the game for him. It's 5-3. This is a wacky ass ninth inning.
I'm not the only one swearing tonight. I love it.
Down the left field line, and there's a lot of speed, and it's 2 more runs.
Dang.
Oh, my Lord, a 7-run ninth inning here on AA Match of the Week.
Oh, man, Woke City really cooking up a meal here.
My Lord. Finally, does he get out of it? The dive, the bad throw. Maybe. He's not. Oh my gosh, it's never going to end. It feels like that Spaceman inning on Match of the Week earlier this season. It's just never going to end. BoDangles, he's got another chance. Pinch hitter in. For the second time this inning, the pinch hitter's in.
Okay.
Hang on. Okay, we got it. And there, after a 7-run inning from the City Walk Knights, holy crap, what an epic top of the ninth there. Game completely flipped on its head, and now J3 with really a catastrophe of an inning comes up to the plate, and he's got 4 runs he has to make up here and only 3 outs to play with.
Yeah, there's a saying, everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong.
And look, he saved his best reliever for this moment too. High velo, elite cutter. He throws that cutter, gets it over to the third. Gets him out at first for the first out. Now only 2 outs to play with, needing twice as many runs. He's got the 1 hole up. This is where you want to be at in your lineup in this situation.
Yeah, and there's no way Enemigos is thinking about anything other than the last inning. He's not even paying any attention here at the plate, I can guarantee you.
Yeah, it's one thing to give up an inning like that. It's a whole nother thing to try to come back and score 4 right after. The mental games of SMB is really an art. 2 outs now. Great cutter on the outside. Himalayan Caucasian, which I believe is another SM&L shout out. And over there to first, and wow. City Walk Knights. We talked about he needs a sweep emphatically. Comes alive in the 9th inning, and he completes the first half of it. 7-3, BoDangles and the City Walk Knights in a truly epic comeback here on AA Match of the Week. What a crazy game, Miss. That was just absolutely epic.
Yeah, you know, it's such a skill in Super Mega Baseball. You don't go quietly. And Woke City was not going to go quietly. They had 2 hits, I believe, going into the 9th inning.
Yeah, 2 hits, like you said, going into the night. But there's something about Super Mega Baseball and the XBL, and something especially about Match of the Weeks, where it just seems like in the 9th inning, you are not safe, no matter the lead. And we just saw it right there. You are not safe, no matter what league, what division you're in, who you are. And we just saw it to a T right there. BoDangles gets the first half of the sweep he needs, and now talk about pressure. A win would get quite likely with a little bit of help. BoDangles could sneak out of that round robin and get a bye, and J3 needs this win to clinch the 1 seed. A lot on the line coming in game 2 after we see a truly epic game 1 kicked off for our AA here. Y'all give us just a minute. We'll switch it over with that pre-recording and get y'all game 2. Hang on tight. Okay, welcome back, everybody. After let me use this word, because I've been wanting to use this word a lot more, because I watched that movie Super 8, if anyone knows it. That was a mint game. Isn't mint just like, it just seems so cool and hip to me, but what a mint game that was. And now we go into Red Rock Park, home of the City Walk Knights, and they need that sweep, like I said, and desperately J3 trying to get that split. Both of these people with so much on the line here at the end of the AA season, you couldn't ask for any more.
Yeah, and when you're on Match of the Week, you're not even thinking about the standings. You're just thinking about showing out. So that's what these players want to do here.
Yeah, no doubt. I think they both showed a little bit of oomph for both of their teams. We saw the home run from J3, even though that was all he had. It was very loud, and then we see that 9th inning explosion from BoDangles that really put a statement on that game. And here in game 2, we see Jerry Baldy on the mound, pretty mid velo and mid junk. The same 5-pitch arsenal that his SPRP had. And now the steal is out at the last second. J3 gets aggressive on the base pass to start out here. Both steals in this series so far have been thrown out.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a curveball instead of a slider here, but it's a very similar backup arsenal.
Yeah, you're right. He's got those same 4 pitches with a curveball instead of a slider. Also, side note, if this is completely unrelated to SMB, this is just personal and selfish. Can anyone tell me how Juwan Jennings and Kyler Williams are doing in the football game? Just throw it in the chat. I would really appreciate it. I've got an unhealthy amount of money on those 2 players. And there's 3 up, 3 down for City Walk. And Amigos were able to get 1 hit, but that's all they could muster. And here comes, if you're a believer in momentum, the momentum is definitely on the City Walk Knights if it carries over game to game. I know baseball can be a completely different story with starters and things like that. We've got De Jesus on the mound. It's really a pretty identical pitcher stats-wise to that last starter. Just slightly less velo, slightly less junk. He's got no 4-seam, which is very interesting.
Yeah, no 4-seam changes the equation entirely. It's interesting to put that much velo into the roster tool without a 4-seam.
Yeah, no doubt. The velo is abused because of the 4-seam, and he's got no 4-seam. So if you're BoDangles here, you are able to score some runs off of that pitcher last game. You would expect to be able to score off this pitcher who isn't quite as strong. He's got the leadoff batter on. That one's hit deep center field, going to be a pop out there. No, hang on. Does he get it to second, though? He gets it to second, so that's one of those things that you kind of learn in the XBL, right, Mist? You kind of want to let that runner sit between first and second because you know this game will give you some 0.2% drops here or there. He gets burned by it right there, pulling him back to first too early.
I never bank on those 0.2% drops. Every time they happen, they fool me.
Yeah, I don't put my now a 0.1% drop. Okay, well maybe if you're J3, you just hope get those out of the way here and don't have to deal with them the rest of the game. But we've got runners on the corners with 1 out. Oh no, and now another. The pitcher not able to corral it, so a run does score after the double play is prevented by the drop. So we've got now a runner on second with 2 outs, and already here in the first inning, BoDangles is able to strike with a little bit of help or a lot of help maybe from the RNG.
Right, and if you can just give up 1 run with that much going against you, that's a W.
Off-speed hitter on Barbie here. Swings at that outside pitch for the 3rd out. Was able to get 1 run. 2 hits already in the first inning. It took him 8 innings to get 2 hits in the last game. So if you're BoDangles, you're feeling nice.
Yeah, and Team Enemigos continues to locate extremely well. It's been tough on Bo, who's a very good hitter. Probably not used to this kind of locating, especially in the Double-A.
That one's hit up center. Left a little bit inside. He was trying to get on that outside edge, and now 1 out, 1 on. We got a runner on first.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 17.
Yeah, that was a misplaced pitch. And Team Enemigos jumped on it.
Oh, might be a double play. Not a lot of speed coming down the line, and it is a double play. Swung at that changeup first pitch pretty low out of the zone, and it turns out to cause 2 outs.
Yeah, almost must have been sitting fastball because he massively rolled over that, Uni.
Yeah, sometimes you find yourself sitting on a pitch, especially I feel like in the Double-A more than anything, you see pitchers really just cycle through their pitches and not repeat the same pitch 2 pitches in a row a lot of the time. So it gets easy to kind of guess what pitch is coming. But obviously if you guess wrong, you roll over changeups like you did right there. Swung and missed on that way inside moving fastball for the first out.
Yeah, and I've noticed in this game, Unicorn, one of the toughest pitches, no matter what level you're at, to handle is that pitch that starts over the middle plate and then cuts inside on you. You know, usually the inside cutter, sometimes it's the 2-seam coming towards your hands. It always looks like it's right down the middle.
Right. Yeah, that's one of those pitches that you see I feel like more than any pitch in the game, like you said, it's that fastball that moves from in the zone to in on your hands that really causes the most trouble throughout the XBL. Even in the top league, you'll see a lot of people struggle to lay off of that.
Yeah, the problem is when somebody's either fast enough to get to it or smart enough to lay off of it, and then you really have to scramble for something else.
Right. Yeah, because it's a real kill shot pitch for a lot of pitchers throughout all three divisions. That one's a bunt, but it's going to be foul. So 0-2 here. He's going to that inside pitch. Might clip the zone, and it's not going to matter. Over to the shortstop. Made the play. And so 3 outs. Only 1 hit there for City Walk.
The third baseman, number 34.
And here comes that low contact, high power guy. I just want to see a home run out of this because I'm impressed if he's able to make such great contact with such low, or if he's able to hit a home run with such low contact, I'd be impressed. It's not something I would risk putting in my lineup. Great pitch on the outside there, 3-1. 4.65, pretty decent ERA for this starter. I'm assuming this is the 3 or 4. It's got to be this 4 starter. Walks him there, though, on that curveball way inside. So if you're J3, that's a good start. You got 1 on, no outs off of that walk. Here comes Mind Gamer up to the plate. I see AJ in the chat, my 2v2 partner for the tournament. What's up, brother? We're going to absolutely destroy Mist, aren't we?
Hey, that's my man now. Don't go talking about him destroying me. That's not happening. I've got black coffee.
Oh,
on my
God.
side.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
AJ, we might actually be in trouble. I'm sorry, brother. I talked before I knew all the facts.
It's going to be fun, though.
It's going to be epic. I hope to see a lot of people join. Quick shout out for Spliff because I know he's been really trying to be in charge of that. Join that AA tournament.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it was a little grounder, and luckily enough for BoDangles there, it does hit the ground. He's able to turn a double play in back-to-back innings now. And now we're into the bottom of the third. Another low-scoring start here. I think they're doing a better job of laying off some of these balls. You're still seeing them chase a little bit, but it's mostly chases on 2 strikes.
Yeah, at this point, the way the pitching has been in this series, it's not laying off balls. You have to lay off balls on the corners.
Yeah, this is some high-level pitching.
You're never going to get anything.
Oh, and the strikeout there on that 2-seam up high.
You can't swing at that. You can't swing at that.
Yeah, this is
too easy to see.
This is about as good of pitching as you're going to see in the AA. We saw 2-easy pitch exceptionally well. Really, Prestone, who we didn't expect in his AA match of the week, pitched exceptionally well also. And so really, if you're looking at the AA, both match of the weeks that we've had this season, or I think we had 3 actually, but the last 2 that we've seen, the pitching has really stood out more than anything. AA is really taking notes from those higher leagues and learning how to pitch and when to pitch certain pitches.
Yeah, I just saw 5 pitches in a row that Bo would normally swing at, and he took them all because he wanted this.
Yeah, he finally got a pitch that was well located right there on the bottom of the zone in the corner, but good job putting it up middle if you're BoDangles right there.
Yeah, he's learning fast that he can't swing at those crazy. Oh, that's a good swing.
Right field and the slide, he's able to get it. That could have been big trouble, but the slide is huge. Not very much fielding on that right fielder. But we saw in that first inning, J3 used up all of his 0.3% chances, so I think he's safe the rest of the game. I hope I don't jinx it with the commentator's curse, but... Ooh, out to end, gets him swinging late.
These pitches from J3 are just completely crazy.
And he gets a third out right there. Once again, that pitch way inside on the hands gets him swinging. So still 0-1 here. The top of the 4th. J3 started off hot last game. He didn't get a ton of runs, but he had a lot of hits, a lot of base activity early on. He's looking to get back into that. Put some pressure on the base pass. 0-2 here. Locked in on the mound is this lower velo pitcher. Oh my, that one snuck into the zone, but and Amigos, he left his reticle too far inside, and he gets the strikeout on a straight whiff.
Yeah, just did misread.
Yeah, that screwball's crazy, but it doesn't move quite as much as he thought. I've been a victim of that many times. When I see the screwball coming, I'm usually about 7 inches maybe, a whole reticle, whatever the length of that is, off. And that one's popped up. 3-outs. This is going to be real quick, 3 up and 3 down for BoDangles. He comes right back up to the plate. We're seeing another low-scoring affair to start here, but these are those innings where it started to kind of explode. J3 was able to hit that home run in the 4th or 5th inning. Now BoDangles comes up, trying to add some runs to his lead. De Jesus is just neutral on the mound still. This 4-pitch arsenal, he's done a good job of keeping this at 1 run. The 1 run that BoDangles scored was because of RNG, so really J3's done an excellent job on the mound.
Yeah, I'm loving the discipline that I'm seeing from Bo right now. He's learning fast that some of these pitches that you can't hit, it doesn't matter if they're strikes. You need to wait for something you can handle. It doesn't matter, even if it's a ball.
Yeah, and even though and he grounds out to shortstop right there for the 2nd out. Yeah, and even if it's a 1-run lead, isn't it so much easier to be patient when you have any sort of lead in this game?
Right. When
you get down, you start feeling like you've got to hit everything. But when you have that lead, you feel like you can sit a little bit and wait for your pitch. And BoDangles is displaying that right now.
Yeah, he's being very patient. I'm really impressed with Bo here because I think he tends to be more of a free swinger.
Swings at a changeup low there.
Swing, but in general, he's been fantastic.
Pitcher is locked in on the mound now. The velo is still where it started, but junk and accuracy up a little bit. Swings at that one up top. Been a little bit of trouble for him so far in this set, swinging at those fastballs up high.
Yeah, that was a good example of a pitch that looked really good, but at the end of the day, halfway through your swing, you realized it was a little better than you thought.
Yeah, and here into the top of the 5th, we're in the back half of this game now. J3 really hasn't done much at the plate. He's able to get a good start right here with that leadoff single. He's had a few leadoff singles in this game. Hasn't been able to convert anything from it. We'll see if he's able to make some noise here. He's got the 5-hole up, so he's going to have a couple of decent batters back-to-back here. And he's got pretty decent speed on the base pass as well, but Bo has been stingy on that plate. That one down right field, he's not able to snag it. Is there enough speed? And he's there. Mojo down for both of them. Uh-oh.
Wow, that's
tough.
Wild. Yeah, that's an interesting little carom to kind of dribble right behind.
And now a bunt. He goes to 3rd and then goes back to 1st. He's safe just in time. That almost turned out really bad after you get a little bit of help from the game. The bunt almost really reversed it all. Great pitch on the outside there. Locked back in as the pitcher.
It's tempting to bunt in a game like this, but I would warn against that. You need to
go.
There
he didn't go.
Oh boy.
Oh, I mean, talk about match of the week nerds. Do you not feel like J3, knowing it's a match of the week and knowing he needs a split to secure that 1 seed, he just seems a little bit off?
Now batting, number 24.
Yeah. There's some nerves. He's doing some things really well, but mostly on the mound.
Yeah, it's definitely been mostly mound-wise. Batting-wise, J3, I think, averages 7 or 8 a game. Had 3 in the first game, at 0 here. He's got runners on the corners. Great eye there. Full count. Big pitch coming. Pinch perfect. Hits it into center field. Is it going to drop? It's not. Center fielder gets there. Great location from Bo there. That one, I'm not even sure it was iffy. It was up there on that corner. Perfect location. Look at that.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to say, Uni. Is in all fairness, J3's been facing pitching that probably is not, that's not the gold standard in AA.
Right. It looks like they're struggling at the plate, but in terms of AA, compared to the norm that you're looking at on the pitching side, these two are going above and beyond that by a lot. It's really hard to lay off a pitching like this at the AA level when you're not used to seeing this tight of a zone. And the slide, that right field for both teams has been making a lot of excellent plays, and they've got like 40 fielding.
Yeah, I can already say right now these are AAA players. Even if even if their bats aren't quite as good as we think they are, their pitching is really, really tight. This feels like AAA pitching, or even maybe lower XBL. I mean,
hey, don't get crazy now.
I don't know. They're
don't
keeping
get
it really
crazy
tight
now.
Locating sliders. I mean,
Too
This
many
is not
marks.
AA pitching
Too
at
many
all.
marks. Call it AAA and just call it good.
All right, I'll call it upper AAA because I'm seeing a lot here.
Oh, not able to get the double play there. But, yeah, no doubt, Miss. They're definitely pitching extremely well and the type of stuff you're looking for if you want someone to move up to AAA. And we've seen from stories like Split, from stories like Ice, if you're a great pitcher, you get into that AAA, you can find yourself in the upper echelon in the top of those standings relatively quickly when you get those bats up to speed.
Yeah, and the other thing is you got to remember their egos are flat, so they're not pitching at the same level. But
Right.
regardless, they really are locating quite nicely.
Yeah, the location has been something very consistent and very impressive
look at
throughout
that.
both games. And that one, too, on the inside, from too far inside to right on the edge of the zone. And Bo Dangles, once again, he's been locating that screwball. The way that J3 located that slider in Game 1 was a big note, and the way the screwball's been hitting the zone here for Bo has been kind of the same story.
Yeah, it's getting in J3's head a little bit. You know, it gets frustrating to constantly see pitches clipping, 20% of the corner.
Yeah, this is how it feels playing those top-end XBL pitchers that are in the Von Asen every year. It's like, even when you swing at a strike, you know it's probably useless because it's on the corner, and that's how it feels right now. It's just you're not getting pitches to swing at. I feel like that's that's what I was about to say. Finally, a little bit of a mistake, and that's what we saw in Game 1. There was only a few mistake pitches, and 2 of them led to home runs. And look at this batter coming up to the plate, Dong Lemon. Ban that name, league office, Dong Lemon. But he's up to the plate with 1 on, no outs, and great stats. Looking to add more than just 1 run. 1 run is never safe. We saw last game, even like 6 runs isn't safe. But desperately trying to add more than 1 here. Great pitch on the outer edge. 1-2.
So tough.
Swings and the throw him out, strike him out is in play, but he doesn't get it. We finally see a successful steal here. 1 for 3 now in this series. There is great speed. I'm pretty sure that guy had bad jumps even. If not, it was base jogger. Okay, and he throws it. I would have ran that one, but it works out for him. A couple of times in this series that I'm like, oh, don't throw that yet, but it works out.
Well, he probably should have ran it, and then on top of it, he threw it early.
That one's going to get blooped. And,
it's going to land.
And the RNG helped to get that first run across. Now a little bit of a bloop helps to get the second run across, and the pitching has been stifling, but Bo Dangles has had luck go his way a couple times, and that's why the score is 2-0. He's able to get the third out there, though, if you're J3. Now, last 3 innings, top of the 7th here in our second game, a AA match of the week. Starter is still in for Bo Dangles. Done an excellent job on the mound. Still locked in. Can it get through? Second baseman dives for it, throws it over to first for that first out. Mojo is up for the second baseman because of it.
Yeah, things like Mojo, things like RNG, this is one of those games where a big rally might be 2 or 3 runs, but in order to get there, you need to hit a couple corner pitches for singles, because that can knock a little bit of doubt into the pitcher, and then you start seeing some pitches you can hit.
That one's hit well. Shortstop with the jumping catch, and we see back-to-back Mojo boost for that middle of the infield. It's going to be tough to get anything through those gaps the rest of this game.
That was a great swing on it was an edge pitch, but a mid-level pitch.
His reticle's just been slightly off on those outside pitches as well. He's done a good job hitting a lot of it, but that outside to end pitch has left his reticle a little bit off. That one's hit pretty well, but like I said, that middle infield is locked in, and they're able to make the play. And that, like you said, Mojo has a big effect on games. Even without the Mojo carryover, getting locked in a game, especially your middle infield, can really make it tough to get anything through there. And the City Walk Knights have great stats on that second baseman and the shortstop.
Yeah, and as we know, Unicorn, later in the game, you start to see that pressure bar go up. And that's where the Mojo gets magnified a little bit. So, hitting the ball on the ground to those 2 middle infielders is probably not going to get you anywhere.
Starter's still in here for J3. Those 2 runs really, I would argue, not necessarily his fault, more RNG related. We've seen the pitcher do really well on both sides. Catcher was a little bit confused, lost in the lights there, but able to get it. For the first out, Retro Palm Tree. After knowing just a couple of these references, I feel like someone in the AA might be able to tell me from the SMNL, are these all references to people kind of like an Ox themed team? I know Ox has players in the league named
Rebeard.
Oh, and there's the strikeout. 3 straight strikes, all on the outer edge right there, able to get him looking. Basically, says Kawashi, well, if I don't see a unicorn on his team next year, I'm going to have to get in the league office ear about maybe kicking this guy out. I want my respect. Swinging strike there, 0-2 count. Inside, that one's been tough to lay off, and he doesn't. Fouls it off, though. And this one's up top. Way up top, and it bounces off of the ankles. He's safe.
Oh, when he gets there, wow.
I mean, surely he had to get one. He swung at like 6 pitches over his head. Eventually, one of them had to be something.
Yeah, and you know what? I think at this point, both of these players are saying, what happened? I thought I was a good hitter, but it's been the pitching.
Yeah, the pitching has been superb. And there's the third out. We're now into the 8th inning where we really started to see a lot of action here in these last 2 innings in the last game. And Amigo's looking to do the same, trying to make some noise here. 6 outs to play with, 2 runs down. 7-hole is up with a 453 average. It's that power hitter. Miss Reticled a couple back-to-back. Great pitches from Bo once again. That one's a little bit weak, but it's popped up. Reticle slightly under it over there to center field. Not going to land in the window of the truck today.
Number 24.
That truck out there in center field has always been my favorite thing in any stadium. Tell me how that is. That an F-150?
Yeah, appears to be.
Deep right field. Hang on. Screw the F-150. We've got a home run. 1-2. J3 and the Amigos finally, like I just said, this 8th and 9th inning is where the noise started to happen, and here we go. It's a 1-run game, and maybe that'll get a little bit of confidence up here for our Dominican man in J3. Can he make something happen? A tough decision here now. Pitcher locked in, but you might look to sub. Yeah, he needs runs. I know last game he kept the starter in way too long. This is one of those situations where you got to worry about starters and pitching secondary. You're down a run.
Yeah, I think we were getting right to the point where you start getting a little depressed there, but that home run changes everything.
Yeah, no doubt. That's how we did in game 1, Miss. We saw a home run change everything for Bodangles, did we not? Solo shot.
Right.
And now we see the same exact story possibly here for J3. And to reiterate once again, a sweep here for Bodangles could lead to a playoff bye and a split here from J3 would lock in the 1 seed. So a lot on the line on this game and not much time to go. Cutter inside. We see that ace reliever come in for City Walk with that elite cutter, the high velo. 4-pitch arsenal. Changeup is included. No curveball, but he does have a fork. And uses that fork there on the outer edge. Good pitch. Himalayan Caucasian. This guy is very pale.
Gotta see some patience here. Get your pitch. Oh, that wasn't it, but he didn't get there.
2-2. Fastball, too much heat up top, way late. And after the solo shot, gets the strikeout there. Bodangles comes back up to the plate. It's a 1-2 game here in our second game of the AA match of the week. Y'all make sure you check the Discord tomorrow. We'll post the AAA and XBL times that we have scheduled. We've got a great week coming at you, and AA so far has provided a couple of doozies. We see a close game here. Plenty of pressure. And look at this batter at the plate. BBD getting a chance at the plate. Outside pitch, but doesn't matter. Right down the line, he's able to snag it. That would have been a big, big leadoff runner. There was a ton of speed on that shortstop.
Yeah, and even with some tough hitters, Team Amigos has to have a clean inning here and get a little bit of momentum because it's been tough rowing. Now that home run does reset a little bit, but you don't want to add to the deficit here.
Yeah, keep it locked down right here, and every at bat you have has a chance to tie the game. This pitcher must be related to that starter we saw last game, another Ogando.
Yeah.
Pretty similar stats to the starter that we saw this game as well. Oh, nasty changeup on the edge on that low outside corner. You can't really fault Bo for watching on that one. That one was exactly where you need it to be. It seems like we have really low accuracy on all four of these pitchers we've seen from J3 in this series. So that's something we haven't even noted yet. He's been pitching this well with like 30 accuracy. He did have composed on that starter before though. But here we go, bottom of the ninth, 1-run differential. Can we see an epic game here? Top of the ninth provided a lot of fireworks in game one. I'm sure J3 wants nothing more than to do the same thing.
Now batting, number 13.
Only a one-run deficit. He brings in the pinch hitter.
Yeah, empty the bench. Oh, tough Forky.
That one's up the middle, and hey, miss. This is exactly.
Yeah.
It was the home run, then it was the shot up the middle for a single that started everything for BoDangles, and now J3 does the exact same thing.
Yeah, and that's probably the one thing you can do with that. That was a really tough pitch, but it does leave itself vulnerable to the ground ball up the middle, and J3 nails it. So, runner at first, no outs.
Popped up, hang on. Is that going to fall? It's not. Hung up there too long. So still a runner on first, does have the first out. Double play could end this ball game. Pretty decent speed over there at first, but a tough pitcher on the mound to try to work against here. J3 trying to lock up that 1 seed.
Yeah, you can't have any more empty at-bats here. This player right here has to do something.
Swings late, 2-2. Big pitch coming. Good eye, full count, action pitch. Finds the zone, and he's late, and he steals, and he's barely safe. That would have been a tough way to end your regular season. Actually, I think he's got one more game, but it would have been a tough way to end your match of the week. Hits it left field, and it looks like it's going to be the third out, and City Walk Knights get what they need. They get a sweep against the #1 team in Double-A. And the Enemigos, and hello, BoDangles might find himself out of the round robin and into that bye territory in the Double-A. What a huge sweep. And big shout out to both of these guys. The pitching was absolutely superb on both sides.
Yeah, and unless I'm mistaken, I believe BoDangles was with us last season, so it's possible that the veteranness of BoDangles there in the bigger moments. Not that J3 didn't, especially pitching wise, really play well, but it seemed like Bo just came up with the goods basically.
Yeah, it's only one season in the XBL under BoDangles' belt, but it just shows, I think, like you said, a little bit how much each season can really teach you playing in this league, especially in those big moments. He was able to get big pitches when he needed to. And we saw, obviously, in game one, when he absolutely had to have at-bats, he got at-bats, and he got more than he needed in that 9th inning. But both of these guys, we expected some runs to be scored, and there was runs at the end of that first game. But in game two, it's absolutely shut down on both sides. If you're J3, you've got to be a little bit upset because it was kind of RNG that led to both runs that cost you that loss there in game two. If that RNG doesn't happen, he might have won that game 1-0 off of that solo shot. But the pitching from both guys showed that the skill level in the Double-A is nothing to joke about. It's very much, from both of these guys especially, up there at Triple-A levels. They hit locations, they threw the right pitches, they were able to get double plays, they were able to get pop outs when they needed, and we really saw a clinic much like the last Double-A match that we saw in Match of the Week. The pitching in the Double-A is impressive. The bats, they were here and there, but when you're facing pitching like that at any level, it's really tough to put some hits together back to back.
Yeah, and one thing I've learned in the XBL, no matter what league you're in, is when it's 2 runs, you don't look at RNG. You look at the fact that I have to hit better than that. It doesn't matter how good the pitching was, and the pitching was really good. J3 really, he's the one that had the big swing. He's the only one that had a great swing in the second game. Came up short, but he still has to say, I have to come up with more than 2 runs, and he didn't do that. But you can see the talent.
Yeah, no doubt. From a rookie coming in any division, if you're leading the league this late in the season, it's a very impressive run. And if you're J3, you can look at it in the sense that you had a lot less to lose or a lot less to play for. You had to play for that 1 seed, but J3's got the bye locked in, and he could still have that 1 seed locked in despite getting swept right here. And if you're BoDangles, you just got the sweep that you needed to put yourself into that bye territory. And talk about clutch. You're against the number 1 player in the league for your last set, everything on the line. You need a sweep, not a split. You need a sweep, and he's able to get away with it. So both guys can walk away knowing that they've got a good spot in the playoffs regardless of where they finish up, whether it's 1 or 2 seed for J3, whether it's 4 or 5 seed for BoDangles. Both of these guys are going to have a spot in the playoffs. If you're BoDangles, you're obviously hoping for a little bit of help so that you can skip that round robin, because we saw some of those lower teams last season really make a run in those round robins and cause some trouble for those 5, 6, 7, 8 seeds. So you don't want to have to risk that if you don't have to. But it was a great set from these two. Both games were close. League office has done an excellent job all season of putting together close matchups for all of our match of the weeks, and we see once again here, I love getting AA match of the week on because I know they don't get as much hype as the AAA and the XBL, but like you said and like we just watched, Mist, they have plenty of skill that's worth watching, and there's plenty of excitement about the league. A lot of really great guys have came into that league and shown a lot of hype, so it's been great. But we've got a lot more coming this way. I'll give you your last word, Mist, before I kind of give the rundown for what we have this week.
Yeah, well, it's always exciting to see both players play well, which we certainly saw here. I'm sure they both would have liked to have scored better, and that's how they should feel because they both have good bats. But the first thing you'll learn as you move up into the leagues is that the pitching is a massive jump. And this is exactly what they need to start getting used to because they do have the bats, but as they adjust to that tight pitching that they're not used to seeing, in AA, they'll do well. But I would expect both of these players to be in AAA next season. I expect them both to at least make the quarterfinals. There's going to be a round robin, so it's kind of hard to say exactly, but it was a fun night, and I'm glad they both did well, and it was really entertaining.
Yeah, and that's what you hope for, some entertaining baseball whenever we all get together to have these match of the weeks. It was great to be in the booth with you again, Mist. We're going to be back in the booth later this week for our future sets. Good job to J3, good job to BoDangles. Y'all both put on a show and showed that you're very much in that top 5 territory like your seeding says right now in the AA, and both very much have a shot to win it. And for the rest of the week, we've got our XBL set for Saturday. We haven't put out the announcement yet, but we're looking at 7 o'clock on Saturday instead of Sunday. We've got our XBL set. Then I believe that's Mist and I on 7 or maybe 6 o'clock Eastern. I don't know all this stuff. I'll know it when I put out the announcement.
6 o'clock Eastern.
Okay,
I'll say it.
6 Eastern. We do what Mist wants. Then on Sunday we've got our AAAs. So we've got 2 more match of the weeks before we get into our kind of makeup territory before we get into the playoffs. And in the playoffs, that's where we really get hot and heavy on the cast. But it was a great AA season. We've got some games left to go for those guys, but most of all, the games are all in, and shout out to all those guys. No one dropped in the AA. Everyone played, and that's the best thing you can ask for. More than anything, when you start a season, you just want to see no one drop, and no one has dropped yet so far. It's been a really incredible season 18 so far in terms of participation, so that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, it was a good set tonight, and y'all make sure that y'all look for the Discord announcement tomorrow when we put out those times and matchups for the XBL and the AAA match of the week. We've got an awesome ending to our season coming at you. Then we've got playoffs, and it's really been a great season 18, and we hope to finish it off with some match of the weeks just like this that really come down to the wire and get us excited for that playoff sort of baseball, that playoff sort of atmosphere. So yeah, for Mist being in the booth, thanks very much. And for me being in the booth, you'll see me a lot this week, whether you like it or not. I'm going to be on all 3 games, so get used to hearing me. Then we've got that announcement tomorrow, like I said. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for Urban for giving us those all 3 of our voiceovers for the week, and we will get everything to y'all information-wise coming tomorrow. So we will catch you on the Discord. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good night. See ya.